See what happens
like
there.
everyone tells me they're the person who knows about IoT. You see, there's like like all the other people, you know, they
They
don't know
don't know
what to do with
anything.
it.
All
But
right.
you're the guy.
We'll
Okay,
see.
well,
Thanks for staying, guys, by
let's
the way.
see. Okay, not to worry. Okay, so we just got to get the magic digits up on the thing, and speak. Your microphone's working, and
Yep.
do a click to check your clicker is working.
It works.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, everyone, big round of applause for Raf. Yay!
Ooh. I don't know. You had a much bigger audience, Ivan. Well done. Good afternoon, people. Yes, come in. Very nice to be here. I want to give you a little bit of a preview of what I think and why I think IoT is a life-changing set of technologies. So the first slide, you might have just had a sneak peek before, so it's a bit of a non-surprise, but this was, for me, one of the most incredible technology invented so far, right? This is not, of course. This is a good example of what a connected device could have looked like if people didn't think that there was actually a little bit more to it. And of course, we've seen a generation of stupid devices. If you look at this, you know, the connected ponytail, the Internet of Poo, and other kind of things, right? There's tons of that bullshit out there. And so you know, when we started looking in the world of IoT, we were stunned by the amount of, you know, bad ideas and still execution on those. Of course, you know, 2017 was a great year to watch all those incredible companies falling down massively on the world of, not only the world of IoT, but other sort of hardware companies. And, you know, companies that were valued like $1 billion company, $3.2 billion. Jawbone, Alex is a friend of mine, he was one of the co-founder, has always a story about how the company just overly used external funding and really didn't make much of it. They had issues with the management, they had issue with the product, they had issue with the production, they had so many issues that they couldn't resolve that at the end of the day, the company fell. So, classic story of in and up, but this is the world of IoT as we knew it. There's actually guys in here to know it. There's a Twitter account for Internet of Shit. So this is a reality as we know it. There's a lot of bad ideas and bad execution in the world of IoT. But the good news is it's not all bad. IoT has been a life-changing technology for many reasons. The first one used to be extremely expensive. Do you know that we used to cost sensors about 100 times more? Now, of course, commoditizing, the costs are going down dramatically. And you got all kind of different sensors, from accelerator emitters, force, chemical, you know, all kind of different sensors capturing all kind of different data. Second thing, the cost of compute, right? Goes down dramatically as well. And third, you know, the storage space. You remember, have you ever seen, I don't think anyone in the room, maybe those gentlemen in the front wouldn't remember the size of the IBM computer, which was a room entirely, right? Now you have more power in your pocket or in your wrist than you've ever had in this computer, which was the size of a truck. So that's obviously why the world of IoT exploded in the first place. Now, we're in 2018, close to 2019, and I want to show you a few examples of why I believe IoT, and some examples of real life-changing technologies in the world of IoT. First one, impacting humans, obviously. So that's, you know, one of the first wearable. If you can remember it, there's been a flourish of those. We talked about Jawbone, that's a good example. Tons of those. How many of you have wearables on their wrists? Raise your hands. Well, good. Yeah, good 20% of the population. Hang in there. They will disappear, but you still have the choice to use them. But at the end of the day, we're getting into another wave of different products, right? From wearables to insidables. This is implantables territory now. You even look at ingestibles as those. Those are real. They're not just science fiction elements now. The pills actually exist. You have products that have been developed, tested by MIT for years, almost 10 years now. They are actually being diagnosed. They're actually being used for diagnostic as well. Now you get into trainables as well. All kind of devices. This is Upright is a company that we looked into in Israel, which makes, you know, the posture better. It's absolutely incredible. Shockables, hearables, ringables. There's many A-balls, right? A lot of A-balls around here. The goal basically for me to show you that this is health related initially. So it's an impact on human. This is a great one. This company helps people with asthma condition to diagnose better and have a much more refined use of their inhalers. So it's a very simple product that you put on top of the inhaler. It gives you more data, much more refined understanding of how you use it, and of course can help you avoid those terrible crises that you can have if you're an asthmatic. And there's many flourishes of examples from, you know, one of the earliest sort of attention parameters to ECG, to EKG, posture control. We have, you know, insulin drops, all kind of different products that are all connected and help the human at a broad level basis. Planet. the second one I want to refer to. There's a lot of changes that have been gone in the world of IoT for helping the planet to be a bit better. Now, this is an important one. If you look tightly at this, you'll realize and you'll see that there are more phone coverage than access to water in subcontinent Africa. Let me say that again. They have access to phones more than they have access to water. How's that normal? Well, it's not. So this is one of the key things that has been developed, that have been pushing the world of IoT to say, okay, we need to do something. They have the infrastructure, clearly. They're using phone, but how can we leverage this to make it better for the people to get access to water, right? Very simple. And it's not necessarily a lack of water. It's most likely contaminated water, right? And so how do you help that? Simple, sensors. So tons of examples that we've seen in third and developing countries, like solar power, air quality control, smart home sensor network to avoid those early fires that you get, or sensor measuring weather parameters. All those are very simple products that were developed at a fraction of the price, which means that in those regions they can scale. They can have thousands of units for what used to be extremely and absolutely impossible to do before, because extremely expensive. So this is what the world of IoT, the small sensors, can do for some leveraging that technology. You can save villages and lives over there, literally. We invested last year in a company called Internet of Trees, for example, which does that. It's a company from Honduras. I like the name, by the way. I don't know about you, but I love that name. You've seen those fires in 2017, and those are the being in the US, obviously, very famously, advertised and all. But there's like millions of fires like this every year, and people don't know about it. So it's one of the simple solutions out there that allows to have a mix of different sensors to prevent and anticipate those fires that can cost lives. Simple, very simple. Data, mix of data and hardware, and allows you to have those fire detected early on. Odyssey Sensor, another one, company that works in the smart agriculture space, that helps save a lot of water, a lot of time, and a lot of money for farms that are in Australia, for example. Australian farms are so big, most of the farmers have to take an helicopter to go from one point to the other. There's no question of running around and trying to figure out whether there's a leak in one of their pipes. No, they don't do that. They have to literally fly out. So having those sensors saves tremendous amount of time, money, and effort, right? So again, a very simple technology that can improve the productivity and help in terms of getting better water access. Business, still in business, still have to help the businesses out there, is another category that we've seen tremendously. That's a German company, ProGlove. Any one of you guys have seen that before? It's an industrial glove that allows to capture early sign of problem with a worker on the side of the factory, and also combined with a VR headset, as you can see on the right side, allows you to not only manipulate all kind of data, but also articulate the robotic arms of some of the different sort of elements inside the factory. So security, data capture, as well as remote control. Simple, efficient. Those guys as well, Zortec, using the insole to have detection for security reason or safety reason for the posture of the workers in hard conditions. They can fail against a machine. If there's an activity, they get a warning sensor that gets triggered in the supervisor office, for example. They get to see the temperature parameters as well. This, the worker is sick, or you got temperature high level. All kind of different elements that can help, not on a consumer basis, but on a professional basis for workers that really have issues in productivity and how you can improve that. Number of steps you do every day, where you go, all kind of different set of data. That's a company we're just investing in this year. First of all, best name in the world, Ragnarok. I don't know if you know that name, but that's a fun one. But also, it's a very simple system that is literally a protective security vest to help people, again, workers on very harsh condition, on boats, on oil rigging platforms and stuff, for a kind of different things. Monitor vital sign, fall detection, positioning and tracking. Also speech-to-text nodes, so you can speak to your vest and transfer automatically into your phone. When you can imagine, those guys have helmets and gloves and everything. They cannot just take the phone out and start texting, right? So that's the kind of harsh conditions where you need the power of technology to help and transform that. So again, very simple solutions, small sensors that enable very normal things to be done, and also vital use of saving lives. So it's all about impact, and I want just to tell you a bit more about what we do, because that's also, Startup Bootcamp is got a mission on impact. We have now 24 programs around 17 cities and 6 continents. We've grown that for the last 10 years. We launched a few different things. I'm all about IoT and impact, and so we invest in those companies every year. And this was the call that I sent back in January last year, and we've had a tremendous response in all those different segments, right? From the full-on industrial IoT to the impact IoT. And what we've seen is that those are merging now. One doesn't go without the other. Having stupid technologies like the few examples I take at the beginning that does not make any impact or real change for not only societies but humans, technologies and everything is useless, and we don't want to see those, right? And also those technology layers that are supporting that, so you're getting one of those products smarter by leveraging AI, or getting them more secure through the power of blockchain or distributed ledger and stuff like that. We went around the world to pick up those companies. We also see, we talk on average to about 1,500 companies every year. We had more than 300 applying from 51 countries, which was amazing for one program only. And again, top industries. But to close on this, one of the most interesting development that we've seen over the last few years have been, as I said, the power of the sensors adapted to real technology that can change the lives of people. And there's still a lot of challenges ahead, of course. Fragmentation, standardization, issue with the spectrum and the regulatory bodies, all kind of different things that could impact the development of those products. But at the end of the day, I'm a desperate optimist. So I believe in the power of technology and the will of people to make that happen. And so, if you want to have a few keynotes on that, a few key last things, the winning IoT solution that we've seen have an impact. And they do serve most likely today an IoT solution that is on the industrial side, that most likely look at the B2B business, but not necessarily only. I know that those early days of consumer IoT are slowly disappearing to be now becoming some things that are making an impact. So educational-based companies are looking into the consumer basis, but they do have an angle to help kids. So it's not just, again, the Internet of Poo or whatever was the technology at the time. And the second thing is they need to be tailored to solve that last mile problem all the time. So it needs to be robust, cost-effective, low power, which was another thing that is coming as well, and basically scalable. So those are the key success factors that we've seen in the world of the IoT recently. And what I can see is I'm very, as we say in English, I'm bullish about it. I'm very positive. So we'll see tons and tons of those technologies. And if you are part of that world and you're one entrepreneur that is developing one of those solutions, come and talk to me. I'd love to see what we can do together. Thank you very much.